Yo, what up? So, in this quick mini training, we're going to talk to you about how to get consistent and predictable sales without relying on hope, hustle, or launches. So, you can generate consistent revenue and feel calm and confident. All right, so I am Jay Jackson. I'm the founder of the Leverage Alliance, and I help agency owners and service professionals get steady sales through a simple system. And this same simple system, the Catalyst system, is what I use to go from 18-hour days to just 5 hours a day in my agency and helping my clients take back their time and have consistent 10K months. So if you want steady sales without stress or guesswork, subscribe to the channel. Here's a belief that keeps your sales inconsistent. Most agency owners and service professionals believe that more effort equals more sales. And look, I get it because I'm a hustle guy, right? I used to be a hustle guy who believed that hustle was the way to get more leads, get more sales, earn more money. And then I discovered hustle is not the key. Because when sales slow down, our gut move is to work a lot harder, post a lot more, or launch even another offer. But here's something that I can guarantee you that you've never questioned, and that is that this belief quietly turns you into a chaser instead of a builder or an architect or a creator. All right, and so believing that working harder is the key, there are three problems that this creates. Number one, it creates inconsistent revenue. It's impossible for you to have consistent and predictable revenue if it always depends on you working harder. You're a human being. And because you are a human being, your energy is not infinite. That's why you have to sleep so that you can get rest and recharge yourself. Does that mean you ever just completely, I ran out of energy and I'm at a zero? No. But you do hit a point to where your body needs to rest, recharge, and recover so that you can get back to peak performance. And the best way for you to stay and operate at a high level of peak performance is by having systems in place. Primarily automations, especially automated sales machines that allow your business to grow without you being involved in the process. Number two, not having a system in sales, that's what leads to a lot of gut decisions, emotional decisions. And we don't make decisions based on emotions, we make decisions based on data. Okay, and so when you don't have a sales system in place, you're guessing, you're wondering, what should I do now? What should I do next? But when you have a system in place, you go, oh, they're at this step in our system, we do this next, or they're at this step in our process, we're going to do this next. All right, number three, it ties sales to your drive instead of structure. Now look, I know you're a highly driven person. I know you have a lot of willpower. I'm a high drive type A person myself. But one thing I've realized is that when I lack structure, whether in my life or in my business, there was a lot of chaos, right? There was a lot of drama. There were a lot of problems. But when you have that structure, it allows things to stay consistent and predictable. So automated systems, automated structure, from lead generation to lead nurturing to calls booked to actually deals being closed. That entire process is your structure and your system, and you want it to be consistent and predictable every single time a new lead comes into your business. All right, so you have inconsistent income, you feel worn down, you feel a little unsteady and unstable when you lack that system. Now look, if effort made sales steady, like your hardest months, like the months that you went hard, those would be the months that you made the most money. But we know that that's not the case because it's impossible for you to show up consistently and predictably every single day when you lack that structure. So that's what's keeping you stuck. And there's definitely a different way, and I'm going to break it down for you real quick. So the truth of the matter is you don't have a sales problem. And I know you're probably thinking like, but I'm not getting sales. And you said this video was about getting more sales. It is about you getting more sales. You're going to get more sales when you get more structure. right? So structure is what creates demand. You're able to consistently put your message into the marketplace, consistently attract your ideal leads, consistently nurture them, consistently move them through your process, consistently close sales, right? Like that is the 100% the reason why you're not getting sales consistently. So you don't have a sales problem, you have a lack of structure, a lack of a sales system problem, or an efficient sales system problem. Therefore, the outcome or the lack of result is a lack of sales. All right, so here's something that most business owners fail, and I want you to get this. To reach your next level, you have to either act like a chief revenue officer or you're acting like a salesperson who is chasing clients. And real business owners act like chief revenue officers. We don't go out chasing after people like a salesperson, like pitching you, being salesy, sleazy, or manipulative. That's not necessary. You just have to have a system in place, and that system is what allows you to be able to attract and convert prospects, and they can be cold, complete strangers into your business. Not having a sales system is like sending checks to pay bills only when you remember. If you've watched the previous training, I talked about this, about the importance of like auto pay when it comes to your bills. Wouldn't you like for your clients to have their payment to you set up automatically without you having to send an invoice? Meaning there's a credit card on file, there's an ACH wire transfer already scheduled to where every single month your money comes into your account without you having to do any manual follow-up. Well, guess what? By having that sales system, your sales system set up that way, your income comes in consistently and predictably. I want you to understand this. You attract clients that are just like you. So if you don't pay in full, your clients won't pay in full. If you don't pay on time, your clients won't pay on time. So you want to become the client that you want to serve, right? Someone who pays in full, someone who pays on time, someone who shows up consistently, someone who puts in the work. Right? Those are the kind of people that I love working with. I'm sure those are the kind of people you love working with as well. So here's how this hit me the hard way. So I used to do launches. I used to depend on referrals. Some months I had some strong months. Other months, all I heard was crickets, right? I remember when we had our first 10K month. And that first 10K month, we thought we had it. The very next month, we had no revenue. And I couldn't figure out, like, why is it that we weren't able to generate revenue this month when last month we were able to generate, $10,000? Well, we had a system that we used the previous month, but because I didn't document that system and it was here in my head, there were steps that I was missing. And so in that process, I'm trying to figure out, like, what did I do? What did I didn't do? How can I do it again? Well, when you have a predictable sales system, a sales machine set up where automations is doing 95% of the work, it's going to happen the same way every single time and every single month. You're going to be able to make a whole lot of money. All right, so here's the smart rule that the smart business owners live by. Here's the rule. In real business, sales never depends on your drive or your effort alone. If it does, that means your system is weak. And so if you're working harder, like was the fix or the solution to it, your sales would be steady, and they're not because you're depending on effort, and that is your issue. Most business owners think that inconsistent sales means that you need new tactics, but it really just means your business lacks structure, right? You're going to hear me say this over and over again without structure. Like here's some quick proof. So when I stopped leaning on my willpower and built structure, my sales, they stopped spiking and dipping. And that's what I was just telling you about. Like we had a 10K month and then boom, we had nothing, right? We'd have like $3,000 and then boom, we'd have nothing. So, but once we implemented automations and we had a sales machine implemented within the business, it's like, oh, 10K this month, 25K this month, 40K this month, and it just continues to go up and it continues to compound because you build up momentum, and it's like the snowball effect kicks in, and everything else, just all the hard years that you've been through, it's like, okay, I'm okay with the hard years because things are starting to become a whole lot lighter. One of our clients went from inconsistent months to steady weekly sales by adding a simple follow up and close system. Your fortune is in your follow up. Look, when your content does the heavy lifting for you, it overcomes objections, it attracts the right clients, it basically converts your leads for you. So now your sales close rate is going to increase because your content has done the work that you needed it to do. So now when people show up on calls, you're not asking 12 million questions about, what is it that you're going to help me with, or what specifically is the process, because your content has done all of that work for you. You don't need setters, you don't need closers. People show up, they give you their credit card information, process their payment, the automations click in, they're now being onboarded. Hey man, it's a magical thing when you've got it. Another client stopped doing constant launches and still grew his revenue because the system sold everything for him. That's what you want. Look, you want the system to do the selling, right? So not Michael Gerber, shucks, I can't, I'm drawing a blank on who said it now, but he basically said that you want your sales to become superfluous. Your marketing should be so good that sales become superfluous, meaning your marketing is so good that sales become unnecessary. You don't need to do any selling because your marketing does all the selling for you. It lets them know, hey, this is the problem you have. Here's the solution to your problem. I understand you very well. My solution is the proven system or the proven solution to your problem, because not only have I helped people just like you, I use it for myself, and here's the results that we get. And so when your system does that and your marketing does that, when people show up for calls, they don't have to be sold at all. When you look at any strong business, sales don't depend on feelings, holidays, Black Friday, it's Christmas. You can get sales whether it's Christmas, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, 4th of July, Black History Month. It doesn't matter. President's Day. It does not matter when you have a system in place, right? So Chick-fil-A is one of my favorites. If you haven't heard me talk about Chick-fil-A, you're going to hear me talk about Chick-fil-A because Chick-fil-A's system is repeatable. So like all franchises, that's what you're buying. You're buying the system, right? So the brand name, whether it's Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Burger King, any of these major brands, you're buying their system whenever you buy into the franchise. They have perfected this system for decades. And what you're basically saying is, this system works. It's proven. Like, you can go to a Burger King here or a Burger King in a different country, and guess what? That flame broiled Whopper is going to come out the same way every single time. Why? Because Burger King demands that if you want to run a Burger King franchise, here's how we're going to do it. It's consistent and it's repeatable. Okay. So most business owners miss this. If you can't look at your week and know where your cash is coming from, that's risky, right? Like you're floating and walking on thin ice. So you want to be able to look at your calendar and say, I know when I go and I execute this webinar or I speak at this event, there's going to be 100 people in the room. I'm confident that 25 or 30 of those people are going to come up and give me money. Or I go and I speak at this event and I can't pitch from the stage, but I can, collect people's data and information. There's 40 people in the room. 10 of those people are going to come and join on to my list. And then from there, my sales machine is going to nurture them to book a call and then ultimately become a client. Right? So you want to make sure you're thinking in terms of that kind of system. So when structure is in place, something subtle shifts. You stop checking Stripe and you stop having stress. You already know what kind of money is going to come in and you know where it's going to come from. So if you want consistent sales without hustle or even hope, I break down for you how to do this in my book, Work Less to Profit More, the underground playbook for turning your business into a machine that can grow without you. If you haven't got it already, down in the description, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link to grab a copy of my book. But if you know already right now today today that you want to implement automations into your online sales system and you want support with that, there's also a link down in the description for you to schedule your Catalyst System strategy session. If you're watching this on a landing page, there's a button right below this video. Schedule your call right now. There's no obligation. The call is free. If you believe that we're not a good fit at the end of that call, I'll make some recommendations on what you can do. Everything that I give you during the call is yours to keep for free. You can walk away from the call, no obligation. But if you know that you want help right here, right now, today, click the button, click that link, schedule the call, and I'll see you on the other side. Peace.